call the meeting to order. If everybody can stand, please face the flag. I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending our monthly or bi-monthly council meeting. We'll go ahead and get started. For major announcements right now, we are waiting on Caleb Gay to show up. Once he does, we'll start it, but we'll just continue doing it. The next thing on the...
If you want to, you get that right there. If you don't want to go ahead and take the vote, you can do that now. And then we can just swear him in.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to accept Caleb Gay as a new member of our council? He'll be replacing Steve Lewis's seat.
I'll make a motion that we have Caleb Gay replace Steve's place on the council.
Okay. Do I have a second? All in favor? All right. Is it unanimous? Okay. Next on the agenda is the approval of the June 2023 meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to accept the June 2023 meeting minutes?
A motion that we accept the June 23 meeting minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? It's unanimous. Next on the list is the approval of June and July's 2023 financial reports. I don't have this. So as you can see, we have five different accounts. Our general operating account, 286, schoolhouse. That schoolhouse has increased from 2 months ago when we received the donation of $33K and we had 1,000 in it. Our current splosh account, FEMA and American Rescue Plan. Yearly insurance.
Yeah.
This right here, and we did it for this year, we haven't started that way.
Right, that won't be the audit.
Yeah.
That
For
won't be,
2023.
no, that won't be until June of next year.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept or the approval of June and July's 2023 financial reports?
Make a motion that we approve June and July's financial reports.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Unanimous. next on the agenda is a summary of maintenance. Jerry?
I've been working on this street just down, got two unfilled, it's pretty dangerous. We'll get prices on them, get them put down, spray chemicals, and get rid of weeds, and just keep check on the culverts and mow and dry.
Okay. No issues with any of the equipment?
No.
Okay. And then in the last month, if you weren't aware, we had voted on to get the pavilion painted, and it was painted, and the painter was gracious enough to do inside the bathrooms as well. So that was a plus for the town. And they stained all the decks, so it looks really nice. Pressure washed certain areas in front of the town hall and businesses. So good job. Thank you, Jerry. Okay, next is old business. I have a Heritage Day update.
Things are coming along with Heritage Days. It's already August, but we're doing really well. To date, we have 29 vendors committed, and most of them paid, 6 of which are food vendors. We're coming along with our sponsorships too. Our committee is working really hard on reaching out. They're getting new sponsorships too. So to date, we have 10 committed sponsors, approximately $1,800 in cash donations, and the equivalent of about $1,700 in kind, including sponsors from the past, such as Coca-Cola, Jasper, Anderson Tent and Event, Talking Rock Brewery, Stallman Portables, Old Mule House, new ones, Woodbridge Inn and United Community Bank are new this year. I Think Financial is a past contributor, Community Bank of Pickens County, and another new one this year is the Home Depot. We have a full lineup of bands. The committee, Mary Hoff, has secured entertainment. We'll start Saturday off with the Color Guard. We've got the American Legion coming in and doing full Color Guard. Sunday morning, we'll start the day off with a little prayer service. Mr. Max Kaler will be leading that. And then we've got a really nice lineup of bands. We have Rusted Melody, Loose Shoes Band, and the Shetlands. And on Sunday, we've got a band that's new to us called Roosters, Orange Wall, and Patent Shoulders. So I think we're in really good shape. We continue to meet on a regular basis. We're going to be doing the duck races again for 2 charities. Things are coming along. I think it'll be another great event.
Oh, absolutely. How did the stats look compared this time last year as we were going for last year's Heritage Days?
Well, it's been a lot easier because this committee that was new last year has been through the process, and so now it's just a little easier. As far as the vendors coming in, I think we're maybe a little bit ahead of the game. Probably not much. I understand that they tend to come in very much after the end of the summer. Late August, early September is when we're going to start getting a bigger influx of vendors. But it's we're in a good position. I've already got them plugged in because we're ahead of the game with a map. So we're able to place them. And we may even have to think about expanding a little into the park if we continue at this pace.
That's awesome.
To get more and more vendors, because we do have several new vendors too, which is nice.
Awesome. Okay, anything else? Okay, before we go into the new business, I've noticed that Caleb's here. Caleb we had just voted for Caleb to join to be a member of our town council. So Caleb, if you could come up right now, Jeff will swear you in.
Good. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm that you will faithfully perform the duties of council member of this town, and that you will support and defend the charter thereof, as well as the Constitution and laws of the state of Georgia and the United States of America.
Yes, sir.
All right, congratulations. You can take your seat when you're ready.
Awesome. Thank you, Caleb. Appreciate it. Look forward to you. Caleb has been on our town council before, several years ago, a few years ago, and we appreciate you coming back. And we look forward to it. I think you're going to be a great addition to our town council. So we look forward to it. And I failed to do this, and I deeply apologize. Unfortunately, Steve Lewis had to resign. And Steve, great American, I really appreciated him being a part of the town council. And he's one of our business owners, and him and his wife Audrey had just recently sold their property, their business. So they have left. Not for sure where he moved to, Jasper. So that's why Steve had to resign. But I appreciate and I wanted to thank him for all the things that he has done, especially his wife as well. And they have been a big part of Talking Rock, and they've volunteered their time on numerous occasions. So I just want to say I thank very much for them and what they did, and I wish them nothing but the best in the future. So I appreciate it. All right, next is new business. First one on the agenda is the vote on the sale of the parcel number 0208016. It is the 2.24 acres that are straight above us near the church. I'm not looking for a vote tonight, but I'm looking for moving forward with the negotiations with Pickens County. Pickens County has approved to build a new fire station, and they're going to utilize those 2 acres to build a new station on there. Initially, a few months ago, we had an agreement to sign the footprint, the square footage of the actual building on the property. But after talking with Commissioner Stansel, we felt that it was in the best interest for both the county and the city for them to procure that property. They'll take care of it, maintain it, things like that. So I brought to the council the cost of that property and the appraised value. They had an independent appraiser look at the property, and they came up with a figure of $37,000 for that property. So we're going to move forward. I'm going to be looking for the motion for us to continue the negotiations. We don't have a time period of how that's going to work out. What Commissioner Stansel told me that his legal advisors will work with you to figure out how that works out. But that's how we'll move forward. And the prediction, I guess the estimation is we could possibly see the new fire station by next summer. It's not set in stone, but he said he could possibly see them grading it and moving forward with the property this fall, and then they already approved for their budget for that. So we're really excited. Obviously, that's going to improve our ISO rating. They're looking to have a dedicated hiring someone there full time. So it'll be updated services and more services than what we currently have. It'll be more adequate. They're looking to build a 2-bay system with the possibility of expanding on that in the future. So we look forward to that. So I think that's a win-win for the county and the city ourselves. I think it's important that we provide, or those services are being provided for the residents, adequate services. So not to say that those are not that we have now, but it's new and improved, and we're super excited about those opportunities. So I'm looking for a motion. Do I have a motion that we can move forward in the negotiations with Pickens County and the procurement of that parcel?
Motion that we move forward with negotiations with Pickens County for the fire department.
Okay, do I have a second? All in favor? As unanimous. Okay, thank you. All right, next is on the agenda, and Jeff, I'll need some help on this, compensation to the mayor and the council members. What I mean by that is, I've been on the council for 5 years, and my very first meeting, we had a vote to remove the compensation for the current mayor and the council members at that time. I don't know if it was budget constraints or whatever, but this town council and the people that support the town council, even volunteers and just everybody around, they spend a lot of time. These individuals, Mary, does amazing for all the support. Tony, I reach out to him, everything. Everybody, Linda, from a historical perspective, everybody's been so involved in this that I do recommend compensation. So I reached out to Jeff, our lawyer, to get his recommendation. He had looked at Nelson, and we came up with the compensation of individual council members receiving $100 a month and the mayor receiving $150. And that, if it goes through, would effectively begin 2024. Is that correct? But Jeff, could you explain to everybody exactly how we move forward with this and what needs to take place? Because this ties in with the special meeting that we're going to have on 17 August.
So you have to take that vote before the qualifying period begins. There has to be publication in the newspaper for 3 weeks before, so we couldn't catch it for this meeting. So I think we got a special meeting scheduled for the 17th of August. Publication will have concluded by then, and you can vote on that date to have compensation to begin in 2024.
And so that's what we've done. Don has already began the process of getting that published in the paper for the next 3 weeks. And then we will have that special meeting session on the 17th of August. Okay? Any questions? And I don't have to put anything to vote or at this point? Or will we
No, you just vote at that meeting.
vote in it? Okay. Any questions, comments? All right. Next is the on our agenda. We worked it through our working group. Is the RV park proposal update? That's not to a vote, but I will acknowledge that I met with the county commissioner, Chris Stansel, and if you had been aware in the local news, that was disapproved at that time for it to be annexed into the county because there were some requirements that needed to be outlined or more improved by the builder. We're in great standings with the county, so I feel like the town of Talking Rock should ensure that we work with the county to make sure that those items are addressed. And then the individual builder will have the opportunity to either annex into the county or into the city of Talking Rock. So that's the latest update. The county does not oppose for that RV park, but the constraints that would apply with that property as far as erosion and fire support, that is some of those concerns. So we need to do what's best for the residents in this area and the support that we have for the county on that. So, any questions?
If at some point the applicant is saying, I'm definitely not annexing, at that point you'll just need to vote to allow the withdrawal of the application.
So yes. So I just want to make sure that at some point in a possible future meeting that we would vote on that for the annexation. Because we would love for it to happen. It's just I need to make sure, that's the meeting that I had with Commissioner Stansel, that I wanted to make sure that it was appropriate for our responsibilities for the town as well. Okay. All right, next is, we have on the agenda, we're looking for grant writer support, and we have a young lady, is that Janna? Janna Sackett? Shacklet, okay. She has shown some interest in providing. She has experience in grant writing. So it's not for a vote at this time. I still need to speak to her and work out, but I'll eventually bring it to the council for a vote on the budget as we move forward, utilizing our funds to support her as an independent contractor. And I think that's a great thing. We've talked about it a lot here in the last year and a half. It's about, we're very limited in our resources from a revenue perspective, and what can we do outside of that to get some of these improvements. We've talked about, the sidewalks and the lights, or street lights and other things, very limited on what we can pay for. And so, got a lot of great plans, but we need someone that knows how to do that, and she has a lot of great insight. So more to follow on that. Next on the agenda is we would like to asphalt the parking lot for the park, that gravel parking area that you see over there. And I think this would be a great improvement. We verified that we can use our splosh funding for that. And at this time we have one estimate. So during the working group, I spoke with the council and I asked for recommendations on our cap for a budget. We came up with $25,000. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay. And our goal is to have that job completed before this Heritage Day. Okay. So do I have a motion to approve a $25,000 project for installing asphalt in the parking lot?
I make a motion that we allow the $25,000 for asphalting the parking lot.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
I'm gonna abstain from it.
Okay,
I've only been here for like 5 minutes, so I don't really know too much. So.
that's awesome. All right, one sustain and three yay. Okay. That's good. Okay, next on the agenda is a GMA to manage delinquent insurances from insurers doing business in Talking Rock.
So when a company does business, sells insurance in city limits, they have to get what's like a business license, and they pay $15. Other towns, when you have a bigger population, they pay more, but for ours, it's $15. And there's some, we only have like 6 people right now that pay. And the GMA, I guess it's just GMA, they reached out to me and said, hey, you're not on our list that we help you. Would you like us to help you? And they get half of what they find. And then talking with another town clerk, she said that what she does is once she gets that contact information, then she'll contact the people and say, hey, next time just pay us, and then you don't have to split that cost. So we have an ordinance that we have to pass and have an agreement to do that, basically.
So
And if you want to cancel, or if you change your mind or whatever, you have 30 days leeway, so it's not like a year commitment or anything like that.
how do I tee this up, Jeff?
I think you could have one vote to approve the agreement with GMA and the ordinance revision.
Does that have to happen before to be reviewed? The rewriting or adding to that at this point with GMA? Do I have to have an agreement with GMA at first?
At some point, you do. And I presume the ordinance is
Yeah,
something
and
that they.
the agreement is here as well. I have both.
Okay, so I'm looking for a motion. In what context? To agree
To approve the agreement with GMA
agreement
and the appropriate revisions to our ordinance.
with our
And Dawn has those.
with our what?
Ordinance.
We got a section in our ordinance that deals with this issue and it's been updated, basically.
Okay. All right, any questions on that? All right, do I have a motion to approve working with GMA and appropriate revisions to our ordinance? Did I say that right?
Yes. And to approve the agreement.
Approved it. Do we approve? Do I have a motion to approve working with GMA and the appropriate revisions to our ordinance?
Make a motion that we approve working with GMA and the appropriate revisions to our ordinance.
Do I have a second? Did you repeat that?
Gotta say it.
All in favor?
How do you want me to say it?
All in favor? Okay, unanimous. All right, thank you. Next is looking for a motion to change our bank signature card. We will remove Steve Lewis and add Mary Bregantini. So do I have a motion to approve adding Mary Bregantini to the signature card for our bank for all of our accounts?
I'll make a motion that we add Mary Bregantini to our signature card for our banks. Accounts.
Okay, you have a second? All in favor? Okay. 3, 1, 6, okay. Next is looking for approval, or I'm looking for a motion to spend our general funding for adding new town signs for the downtown district. And Don, if you could just give them a little 30-second spiel.
Mr. Dietzel had taken some time to give us some examples of some ideas for, we've been looking for signs, and this is some minimal expense that we could put around to direct people to Talking Rock. That's it.
That's it? Okay, yeah. I think this improves the aesthetics of the community with these new signs. Will also help directional. We've got new building going on up of 136, so this just makes the quaintness of our town. And I had asked the town council for $1,000 budget. So it's not even going to be close to 1,000, but it allows us to move forward and have flexibility on that. So I'm looking for a motion. Do I have a motion to authorize $1,000 budget for these town signs?
A motion that we authorize $1,000 budget, up to $1,000 budget for signs for the town.
Do I have a second? All in favor? It's unanimous. Okay, thank you. Next is addition for our proposed budget that we have for 2023. Don has done a fantastic job continuing to look at cost that we procure, and we did not have that to our budget. This is one of them. It's a category for donations. And we provided donations, but we still need to outline that in our overall budget. So, Jeff, I'm looking for a motion to add this to our current budget.
Right.
The donation, okay. Yeah, so we're going to have, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve that. We've already did the donation, but I will ensure that for our budget for 2024 that line item will be added, okay? So do I have a motion to approve a new budget line item for the City of Talking Rock donations?
I motion that we add a category, a line item category for City of Talking Rock donations to the budget for 2024.
Thank you. Do you have a second? All in favor? All right. Okay, thank you. Next, we during our working group, we talked about the road repair on 2nd Street. We're going to table it, but what we're looking at is improvements of the water spillage or the water runoff for rain that hampers our building and 2 of our commercial buildings, this entire area. And I'm sure Dusty's has some issues as well. So we have, the schoolhouse, Dusty's business, the town hall, Lateral Drift, and Mary's business as well. So this has been a systemic issue for years, and we have septic issues and just wash off with the rain and stuff like that. So this is one thing that we're looking at to do, like a curb and stuff, but we don't have a lot of information right now on how to move forward on that. So we're going to table that for now, but eventually we're going to look at bringing that to the citizens to see what we can do to improve that. And lastly is the discussion of adding a new building inspector. So, I don't know, 8-9 months ago, last year, we had Tony take over our building inspector duties. We'd had a gentleman that was either retiring or wanted to give that up. We're going to, we talked about it during the working group on how we can move forward. Tony is fully employed himself, and with the new expansions of our new subdivision, it's going to take a lot of time. So we're going to look at the possibility of looking for a new company or individual that can help us out with the building inspecting, but that won't take place till 2024. So we're still going to talk about it and see how we move in that direction. But that will involve, we already have a line item of it in our budget, but there might be an increase in that proposed yearly fee. Okay, so information at this point. All right, that was fast and furious compared to our working group. I'll open it up. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Okay, I did bring it up, and I apologize. I guess I can, Jeff, we decided I don't have to vote this. I can tell when the next council meeting is going to be. So for everybody's information, we're going to have a special session on the 17th of August, and that meeting will only be for how we move forward for the compensation for the mayor and the council members. We voted probably about 4 or 5 months ago that we're going to do bi-monthly council meetings, but I recommended to the council that we will do a September, and that date would be where is that would be the 7th, am I right? The 7th of September?
Yes.
Yes. So instead of having one, our next council meeting will be working group at 5:30, and 7 o'clock will be our next. And we're doing it because in lieu of Heritage Days the following month. So I think it's important that we stay on track of that, and that comes up to a point. We'll decide at that time. It's safe to say that we'll do the Octobers as well. Okay. Any questions? Comments? Okay. Thanks again. I keep saying this, but I want to thank you so much. Again, the folks that are here and the participation of the council and the business owners and the residents. I really appreciate you taking the time of all your busy schedules to come here when we have these meetings. I think it's important, and I do really appreciate how that is growing and it's kept going on with our new council. I think it's pretty awesome that we're moving forward. Again, it shows the legitimacy of this town, and I appreciate all the efforts. And it just reminded me, most importantly, we have Blackwater Station, which everybody's aware. They have their ribbon cutting ceremony for August 10th. And at 4 o'clock, thank you. If everybody can make it down there, Adam and Michelle, they're pretty excited. I'm sure all you guys have been in their shop. It's just another business. And then I have not received the name of the individuals that purchased Steve's and Audrey's property. But they are rebuilding that building, and I mean, like, they're literally wasting no time. It's got a new roof on it, and yeah, it's Dan Edwards and Sandra Purdue, and the new business is going to be called Petticoat Junction, and the building is looking fantastic in very short time. So super excited about that. And then Dusty. We're waiting on his business. If you've seen it on the corner, that building has changed 365. It's absolutely gorgeous. Super excited for that business as well. So that's what we're pumped up to do. And then Tony and Mary, hopefully we have the other train car done before we leave here. So that'll be good. So we're super excited. Again, I appreciate all the efforts. Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to end the meeting?
Motion to begin the meeting.
Got a second? All in favor? All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate it.
You need all of them?